We're getting ready for the holiday season here in Northeast Ohio as Elf the Musical hits EJ Thomas Hall on November 11th and 12th. Joining me today is Andrew Hendrick, who plays both Santa Claus and Mr. Greenway in the national tour. And you've seen him Northeast Ohio plenty of times with Come From Away, Kinky Boots, and Fiddler on the Roof. Up next here on Cleveland Stage Door. Andrew, thanks for joining us today. This will be my third time seeing you in a year. You're off of Come From Away. You're now joining us with Elf. You obviously love Northeast Ohio.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me, Jimmy. I do. I love touring. I love getting to travel the country and do these shows. And Ohio has been a lovely state to come through. There's multiple cities that are, welcoming of national tours. So it's really just my pleasure to get to come and perform for the great people of this state.
That's so exciting. And this time you're coming with Elf, so a different show. Tell me, for those who've seen the movie, what can audiences expect from the musical?
Absolutely, yeah. So Elf obviously is kind of a modern classic when it comes to the movie starring Will Ferrell. I know it's definitely one of my top 5 favorite Christmas movies of all time. So being a part of the national tour of the musical has been just such a treat. Like you said, it is different. I mean, it is the story that we all know and love, and a lot of the iconic moments from the movie are still featured in the musical. But it is just that, it's a musical. So there is a full score, there is incredible choreography and dancing, bright colors, just kind of everything you want in a stage musical. Elf actually fully delivers. And then you also might get a tear or two in your eye at the end, which is kind of a beautiful moment. Yeah.
Oh boy. I'm excited to see that. You're playing 2 different roles here, and they're 2 different personalities. You're playing Santa Claus and Mr. Greenway. So if anybody's seen the movie, which I'm assuming everybody that's watching this has seen the movie, how do you switch between these roles each night? Because there are 2 different types of personalities there.
That's absolutely right. Obviously, Santa Claus, we all know and love, is kind of the jolly, almost like it was Father Christmas. So, in terms of the show, he's kind of like a father figure to Buddy. He is that father figure that Buddy was raised with, along with the elves. So, you've got like kind of the tender, loving character, and then you've got Mr. Greenway, who isn't really featured much in the movie. He's more of a character that is featured in the show. But he is Walter, Buddy's birth father's, his boss, the person who runs the publishing company that he works for. And he's mean. He's kind of nasty. So I get to play like the absolute spectrum of like wonderful, loving Santa Claus and conniving, cutthroat, like business person who gives Walter a run for his money and kind of is the reason why he is so stressed and inattentive to Buddy at first. So yeah, it's been fun getting to kind of explore playing both of these characters in the show, and going back and forth between the 2 has been a fun challenge. Yeah.
Yeah. And have you, let me ask you that. I've seen your resume. We talked about it at the beginning as well. Have you played a villain yet in your career? Or is this like the first like villain character you've played now?
So when I did the Fiddler on the Roof national tour a couple years ago, and when I first started with that show, I played the constable, who I would say is kind of the villain in that show. He's the person who kind of kicks the family out of their home. So I would categorize that as a villain.
Okay.
But that's really the only one that comes to mind. I was the understudy for the role of Don in Kinky Boots. Okay. And if you've seen Kinky Boots, he's kind of the nemesis of the lead characters as well. Although he does have a beautiful redemption by the end of the show. So, So I've played a couple of villains. But Mr. Greenway is definitely up there. I would say like a pseudo villain. He's not really a villain, but he's just he's a guy trying to run a company and things are not going well for him. So he's taking it out on his employees.
For sure. So The show kicks off. The show is going to kick off like the holiday season for a lot of families. What's your
Mm.
favorite moment in the show that captures the magic of Christmas for you personally?
You know, as we've been teching through the show, because where we are right now, we're doing this on Halloween, so it's weird to be doing a Christmas show and rehearsing it and getting it up and running during Halloween. Um, but that said, I've been fully like locked into the Christmas spirit since we started rehearsals a couple weeks ago. And my favorite moment of the show is actually this song called "There Is a Santa Claus," and it's when Buddy's younger brother and his, I guess, stepmom are are discovering that they actually do believe in Santa Claus, and then they sing this beautiful song about it. And I think that's to this moment one of my favorite moments in the show, just because you've got this wonderful child actor on stage singing his face off. And it's really just a beautiful moment that a mother and son share on stage that I think is really beautiful. There's also a really unbelievable moment at the end of the show where a sleigh might fly in the air. I don't want to give
Oh,
too much away. You really have to come see the show to know what I'm talking about, but it is some theater magic happening.
that's
So
awesome.
that's really fun too.
I'm excited to see that.
That's plastic.
That's going to be awesome. That is going to be awesome. So we touched on your career a little bit. So let's talk a little bit more about that, because that's more what the show is about. My show is
Sure.
about. So you've toured all 50 states. That's incredible. What's
That's
one
right.
city or experience on the road that really sticks out in your memory?
Oh man, there's so many. I have been touring for like almost 12 years now, which has been
Wow.
just a treat. I would say getting to cross the 50th state off, which was Alaska, and getting to perform in Anchorage, Alaska it was in December, so it was definitely giving us that snowy, cold Alaska moment. But it was great to be someplace I had never been before and getting to kind of perform and meet people in that community and stuff. So I think doing a show in Anchorage, Alaska is probably up there with touring tour
That's awesome.
opportunities I've had. Yeah.
That's awesome. That probably doesn't happen very often, right? I wouldn't think. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just so far, so it's a lot
Yeah.
to take
Yeah.
a full set and the entire company up there. That
Great.
said, I would also say Ohio is up there on my list of places I've gotten to perform, and I don't say that facetiously because I'm doing it here, but I mean Columbus, Cleveland, Akron. I mean, there's just Findlay I've been to. There's just so many like wonderful opportunities to perform in this state. Um, and certainly in Cleveland, Playhouse Square has some of these most beautiful theaters I've seen in the country. So,
I
getting to
agree.
be, hanging out in that square with the chandelier over my head is always like a treat. It's always like a reminder that I'm back on tour and in a great city. So,
I love that. I love
yeah,
that. So speaking of your touring experience, you've actually performed internationally as well in
yeah.
China and Singapore. How do audiences overseas like respond to American musicals compared to audiences here at home?
In my experience, specifically, we took the musical Kinky Boots over to China and did like an Asia tour. We hit 3 cities in China and then Singapore with that tour. And it was incredible. I mean, because for me it was such a culture shock. I mean, it's a very different place, just in terms of customs and the people there. But I think like musical theater can connect people, even though we had a language barrier. We did the show in English. A lot of people didn't speak fluent English who saw the show, but there's something about musical theater that can bring people together even when they're are in vastly different worlds and cultures. And getting to experience that firsthand, getting to take a show and I mean, to be honest with you, the audiences there, you would have thought we were Taylor Swift. That was how insane and crazy and awesome they were. And that was really cool. That was something I maybe hadn't experienced that level of like fandom for our work, but being there and doing it there was really, really cool.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So we touched on a little bit. If there's one song in the show that you could perform, what would it be?
Ooh, great question. Um, the song I mentioned earlier, "There Is a Santa Claus," being one of my favorites. That's kind of an easy answer. But also, there's a song called "Never Fall in Love with an Elf" that the character of Jovi sings in the beginning of Act Two. And really, I just get to stand off in the wings and watch Felicia, who's the wonderful actress who portrays Jovi, just sing her face off. And so I'm a little jealous that she gets to do that. It's really it's an incredible song. It's well written. Our whole score, I mean, this is kind of just a nerd moment, but the composers of our show have written some of my favorite shows. And so like their music is just poppy and exciting and upbeat and fun, and I've always been just a huge fan. So getting to do finally do a show that they wrote has been really fun for me.
That's so awesome. That is so awesome. And then let's turn that into something else. What is one role you wish you could play in the show?
In the show, I mean, I guess I'll say Buddy. He's everybody's hero, right? He's I mean, he's such an iconic character. I will say for anybody watching who's coming to see the show, this tour has a star in the making in our Buddy. Jack Ducat is a recent college graduate from Carnegie Mellon, and he is bringing such beautiful life into this character. It's been an honor and a joy to kind of watch him create it over the rehearsal process. And I can't say anything other than I feel like it's a star in the making kind of a thing. To see somebody early in their career bring such an incredible performance to an iconic role. So I'll go ahead and say I'll take a crack at it too, but
I love that. So final two questions here. What do you hope audiences take away from Elf the musical when they leave the theater this holiday season?
Yeah, I mean it's a story about a family coming together. It's about Buddy, who was an orphan who ended up in the North Pole and was raised by elves, but then goes on a journey to New York to find his father and to have a family, and a family holiday musical. I can't think of anything better to bring a family together. So I feel like, that's pretty much it. You're going to come to this show, you're going to leave just in the holiday spirit. So even if you're seeing it on November 1st and you're not sure whether you should be in the Christmas spirit yet because it's not December yet, this show's going to do it to you. It's going to put you right there. It is just that much fun.
That's so exciting. That's awesome. And then last question I ask every single person I talk to is, if you could go back and give yourself one piece of advice when you started your career, what would it be?
I think I would tell myself to relax and trust that it's going to be good. It's going to be okay. Like I said, I've been really, really fortunate to continually work in musical theater and tour the country. And, as an actor, every time a job ends, it's like, it feels kind of like starting from scratch, where you're like, well, I got to do this incredible show for 2 years and star in a show across the country, but the show closes and I'm back to auditioning and back to the kind of grind that is the life of a musical theater actor. Mm-hmm. And along with that comes like the stress and the worries of, am I going to have a job? Am I going to, get another job? So I think I would just tell myself to trust my instincts, trust my talent, trust, my career, and that it's going to work out. I think that's probably the best piece of advice I can give to anybody is work hard, be kind, and do your thing.
That's incredible advice. I love that. So Andrew, thank you so much for joining me. You can catch Andrew and the entire cast of Elf the Musical at AJ Thomas Hall in Akron, November 11th and 12th. Tickets are available at playoffsquare.org. And if you want more interviews like this, be sure to follow Cleveland Stage Store on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And just for you as a special treat, here's a special preview. Thanks to our friends at Elf and Playoff Square for the show Elf the Musical. Thanks, Andrew. Anything else you want to say or add?
Oh, just come see us. Come make some holiday magic at Elf the Musical. We're happy to have you.
That's awesome. Thanks, y'all. I appreciate it. Have a great time. I'm going to see it. It's going to be a busy week. Up next after this next interview is going to be with Nina from Six the Musical. So that's exciting. So here's a special preview, like I said, with Elf the Musical. Peace out, everybody.
Thanks, Jimmy.